This conference will now be recorded.
Sorry, I got some setting issue, so I have to quit and come back. Okay, let me open. So today we will completely go with hands-on. So um, generally when we talk about the requirements, so we have already developed a trigger with two scenarios. One, checking whether the mobile number is already there, email is already there or not. The other thing, the second one is creating a record. When a record is created, like when an employee is created, a sales member record will get created, right? So what should we use, like which tool should we use to go with these options? What Salesforce recommends is whenever you are able to do something with administration or admin tools like Process Builder, workflows, and other non-declarative tools. Non-declarative or nothing but point and click, right? So whenever you are able to do something with point to click, all these options, you should go with them. When when there is a requirement where you cannot use point to click, you cannot use any of the tool in, you're unable to use any of the tool in admin, then only you should go and write a code. What will be the typical mindset? So generally, uh, we are developers, right? So what we think is, instead of searching and creating something by clicking 10-20 times, we write 4 lines of code, 10 lines of code. That may look easy for us, but there will be a lot of impact on the system when we write more code. And also, when we write code, we have to test it. We should have a unit testing done, and without unit testing we cannot deploy the code. So that's why approach is very important. Okay, so I think now you remember this. You know order of execution, you know trigger handler, why we use, you know, total 12 context variables, and you know there are 7 events. Okay, so in our project, so we created a trigger which creates sales member when an employee is registered, right? When employee record is created. So what we'll do, we'll open the trigger, and we will not use this because this can be done using process builder, right? You can create the same in process builder. So but what exactly um, the logic that we cannot do in process builder? First thing, we cannot check something from the database, something in the database in process builder. So email or mobile number, right? So employee has an email. Let's check. We already written this code, but still we'll write again. So when email is changed, or when an email is existing in the database, I want to throw an error, right? So how to do that? For okay, so this is not good practice, right? So we should always write the logic inside trigger handler. Public static. I'll be just checking, right? Public static void check email existing, and I need trigger dot new. Okay, so here we will not get trigger dot new, right? So then what we should do? We should check the same then for employee underscore c emp colon. So here I want to first get the data from the database. So directly we can write query here. So this is third type of for loop. Circle for loop. Select email from employee underscore c. So this will loop, right? Then I'll take one more for employee underscore c emp, let's say emp um, new emp colon. So it's let's go see. So now if vmp dot email underscore c double equal to new emp dot email underscore c. So if both are same, then so new emp dot add error. So add error is a function, common function for every variable. It works for every context variable, like new map, old map, which will add the error message and send it back to the page. Okay, so email already existing. Okay, so we'll check this logic, we'll run this logic in the before and before insert context. By any chance, method does not exist. Why it's not existing? Okay, it's not existing because I didn't pass the argument. I should pass the argument. That's why it couldn't recognize. Because here method is needing this input, right? List of employee list. So I have to pass the argument. We call this as argument. Unless we pass the argument, this method will throw an error. That's what happened. Now let us give it a try. I'll take an existing email. Okay, let's say copy this email address. New. See, it's throwing an error. Email already existing. So if we give any other email which is not existing in the database, we will not get error, right? So we cannot check this. We cannot check this kind of, or we cannot write this kind of validation in point to click because we don't have option to check the database in any of the tools. We have an option to check from the database in flows. Apart from flows, we cannot do this logic in any other point to click. We'll discuss about flows later because you need to understand what is variable, what is query, all those things. So that's why I told you after you learn some coding, we'll talk about flows. But we will not use flows for validations. We'll use flows mostly for wizard kind of things. Anyway, we'll discuss about that later. So this looks very small, right? just 3 lines, 4 lines of code, but did lot of things, right? It given a good validation, right? So, but this is incomplete. Let us try with one more scenario. Just let me check the list. Oh, email is mandatory. That's why email is not blank. If suppose email field is not mandatory, required, right? Okay. So now let us create a new record without email. Sometimes what happens, even though we remove it from the object, still this become required. Why? Because in the page layout that will remain. So I didn't remember which page layout is assigned to sales, right? So I can just go to page layout assignments. Then for sales, I can see new employee new layout is assigned. So I can open directly from here. I can open the layout directly from here and scroll down to email section and click on this property range icon and remove this required. Now let us go and create new. Still it's required because it's loading from the cache. Right now it's not required. So I just want to create a new record. With a blank email. Now blank email and in future again. Yeah, this record is created. In future again, if I want to create new record with blank email, I'll get an error. It's comparing with the null also. When email is null in the database, at least one field, at least for one record, if email is null, it won't allow us to create a record, right? So in this, while checking, we should also check and this one, the existing emails not equal to null, right? So always remember we should use double equal to compare and apostrophe equal for not. This for equal and this for not equal. Okay. Lot of times, lot of people will keep single e and they'll get an error. So single e is to assign, not to compare. Okay. So now we are checking it should not be null. So then now this won't stop. This got created, right? But remember, with just one small sentence added or one small comparison added, we solved our problem, right? So that is the advantage of code. So with code, with less number of lines, we can achieve a bigger logic itself. Okay. So what more can we do? So we'll go to products. So we have two ways. Okay, I'll put it this way. When I want to delete the product, we'll keep a checkbox. Product is available. So if product is available, I don't want user to delete the record. I don't want user to delete the product. Again, using all this point to click like workflow process, all those things, we can automate something only on create or edit, right? Insert, update, only those two DMLs. We cannot do anything on delete. We cannot write a process builder on delete. We cannot write workflow on delete. We cannot write or we cannot create any, even we cannot write a validation rule on delete. Everything works only on create or update. That means insert, update, right? So if you want to prevent a delete, so you can write a logic here. So this is an employee, right? I want to delete. I want to check the delete for product. Product trigger. So there will be two products. Remember, there will be two product objects. So product two is the standard object. So product underscore C is the object we create. So I want to create a trigger with the event delete. I want to check if, let me go back, just copy paste this section. But this one is before and is delete. We'll create a trigger handler. Trigger handler is an Apex class, right? Public static void prevent delete. Remember, whatever the method names or whatever the variable names you declare, those should be informative. Okay, so you should write a proper name so that Anyone can understand. You can write prevent deletion of product or whatever. Prevent active deletion of active product, something like. So actually we don't have checkbox option. So let me create, or let's see if it's there and we are not using. It's not there. So let's create checkbox. So generally we maintain inventory, right? I mean companies maintain inventory. So they'll automate this field whenever the inventory. So we don't have inventory. So if we have inventory and if we have number of products, so this checkbox will be turned off when all the products are sold, and automatically we will send an email to someone. Uh, so these products are over. You should order them, or you should get from the um, warehouse or somewhere. Okay. So let me change the layout as well. To keep it here. Okay, now so we can also do inline edit, right? So let's make this product available. So we'll check here. So if you remember what I'll get from the delete, in the delete context, I'll have trigger dot old, right? But still it's a list of product underscore C. Old, it's a old record, right? Old product. Then just with if old product. Okay. So first I have to run the for. Remember, this old product always will be the list. Okay, let's name it as list then. Product underscore C, product, old product, column, old product list. If old product dot variable underscore C, so we can directly check like this because it's a boolean variable, right? So if it is true, this will execute. Now it's simple. Old product dot add error. You cannot delete an available product. You cannot delete an available product. You can give an exclamatory mark or something, and we can call this inside this trigger. And we have to pass tree.old. Sometimes what we'll do by mistake, we'll give new and trigger will fail because in delete new will not have data. So if you remember, so in the delete new is n, right? New map is also n. Old will have data. So this should be old, not new. Let's try to delete. Just add the field available. So I'll make all the products available. So we can also do this, right? Window edit and check all the products. So it's showing 4 errors with these two. Item 4, 5 has error. Maybe some validation. So we'll see error here. Product name or price. I think we made this mandatory. So this is not available, right? So we'll delete this product. So product got deleted. But let us try to delete this product. You cannot delete an available product. So when the product is available, we cannot delete it because we have written a trigger to prevent it, right? So, but if products are not available, if product 5 is not available, so we can delete it, but we cannot delete any of the available products. But remember, if you delete something, this product ID will not be replaced. So if we create a new, a 7 is created, 7 product 7 will be created. Okay. A lot of people ask me this question: how to insert a product in between? So if now I want to replace one of the product, like I want to create number 4, number 5. We cannot. Okay. If you want to do that, this is an auto number. You cannot edit it. We should create a custom field, and we should write some code to overcome it. Okay. So this is how we can prevent a delete. And typically, what people will do, they'll check the stock also. Whenever the stock is existing, this checkbox available will be enabled, or in some cases, when there are bills, existing bills, then typically if product 1, product 4, product 3 or referred, product 2 or product 4 is related. Okay. So now I deleted the product, so no one can refer this product 4, right? Oh, this is store, sorry. So product 1, 2, 6 we used. Okay, 4 and 5 we didn't use. So we can write a trigger like if the product is referred in one of the object, then I should not delete it. You try this trigger. Okay, I'll tell you how. Just check the bills table, bills underscore C, and get the product ID. And if you find the product ID equivalent to this product.id, you stop the user. Okay, you give a try. If you don't, then I'll tell you. So I have done a small mistake. It's not a mistake, but it's against best practices. So now I don't have a container for this fur. Still it's working. It's working because I don't have too many products and I don't have further logic. So we should always have a container, and if you remember, Control A, Shift Tab will align. For Mac it's Command A. Okay, so Control A, Shift Tab will give you the better indentation. So this is how we can prevent delete. Okay, so we talked about lot of times about new and old. We never seen what exactly the use of new map, old map. So new map will have the ID. I'll show you a small example. Just a minute. I should have a sample. I'm searching for it. Just a minute. Sorry, I got a call. Where is it? So this is a trigger to calculate the number of related contacts for an account. So typically we will also have this kind of logic. Okay, so this is not that. This is to update account number in contact. Okay, I'll pick up some other trigger. Okay, this is an opportunity. So we'll take the other example. Close to both. So performing different operations on account and related context based on the scenario, written something purpose. So please make sure you have custom field. So this is the requirement that you should do. But what this trigger is doing is it's updating account number on contact from the account. Okay. So initially, so this is not in trigger handler. This is directly written on trigger, right? Okay. I'll take this into Salesforce. So I'll write a small trigger on account. I should create a trigger, not the class, right? Account trigger on account. Now let us pick this code. So typically we will write all these things, okay? But we will not write note, but we have written to give you the instructions. But we always have this one created by modified by, so created by Bala, created date. So we'll add all these things in every program. Okay, depends on the project or depends on the requirement. So in our current project we don't add, right? So, and remember, whenever you're working for years, you should keep the month in the beginning and date in the middle. Okay, last modified by it's newly getting created, right? Modified date. So this we should always add. For most of the projects I see this. Okay, then for the issue I don't have account number in on contact. So let me go to contact. Create a new field, text field, account number, account number one. Okay, account number one. So no requirement. If someone don't ask you for the length, give 255. Okay, if they don't mention the length of the field, typically what people will do, people will give 50. It's not a good practice. If it is not mentioned, always give 255. Okay, click next. And 255 is the maximum, right? Maximum characters that we can add in a string or text data type. Now this error will go off. So remember, whatever the standard things we get, okay, list contact. Okay, what are the standard triggers we get? Those can be directly copy paste. Most of the triggers written on standard will have all standard fields. Sometimes we have fields like this. Okay, so here what exactly we are doing in this trigger? We have this trigger on all these context, all these events: before insert, before update, after insert, after update, before delete. I think we can minimize few. Let us see. Let us analyze this trigger. So first a map is declared, map of ID and list of contact. Okay. So map will have key value pair. In the key ID is stored and in the value this list of contact is stored. Okay. Then for contact, some obj contact, select ID. Always remember these should be in the capitals, and always good to have all this in a different line. So now, so just checking from the trigger.newMap, trigger.newMap will have key ID, right? Key value pair. In the key, all the IDs will be stored. So we can get the IDs, or we can compare the IDs using this key set. Key set will return all the IDs. So trigger.newMap.keyset will give the list of IDs. So we used in column to check the key values in the account. Okay, it's checking in the contact. Okay, so we are checking contact with account ID. We are fetching ID, account ID, and account number fields from contact by comparing account IDs with account IDs in NewMap. Okay, so we will be getting all this account ID, account number, account ID. Then what we are doing, map account ID to list of contacts. This one, the map which we written here, if contains obj.account ID, obj contact.account ID. That means we are again checking. So this is a for loop actually. In this for loop, we are checking if the account ID that fetched here is already added, is already existing in this list. First time this will be blank, right? But every time this get looped, we don't want to add the duplicate IDs. So that's why we are checking if ID is already existing, because contact can have multiple contacts can have same account ID. That's why we are checking this condition. So it should be added only once. So if it contains list of, okay, we are not stopping the user, but we are checking if it contains, then list contact. So you should follow the naming convention. Naming conventions are not good here. So please change to the required naming conventions when you try this. Okay. So map account ID to list of contacts dot get off this account ID with this account ID. Then it's added to the list contact. List contact dot add of obj contact. Then it is added to the map like put ID comma the list. Okay, so that means we are adding the list of contacts to the list contact, then adding to the map. Okay, so but remember we can use the map for this kind of requirements. Then what if this contains, if this doesn't contain, directly put, okay, directly put into a map using obj contact.account ID comma new list of contact obj contact. So first time there is no list, so that's why using new list of contact obj contact. Then So list to insert and list to update, right? We need two lists. So now we have map with all the data. So list contact to insert, list contact to update. So then we'll check if trigger dot is insert. So this will work only in insert. Obj account number, obj account dot account number not equal to null, and obj account dot account number not equal to blank. It's always good practice to check blank also, because null and blank are different. Okay. So contact, obj contact is equal to new contact. So obj contact last name is equal to some name. My actual name is Balavinder, that's why here you can see Gangadhar. So um, obj contact dot account number 1 underscore c equal to obj account dot account number. So account number from the trigger dot new, right? Obj account is from the trigger dot new. Is copied into account number 1 field. Okay. So then add it to the new list. This contact to insert. The same thing is done in update also, but here we are creating creating a new contact, updating a new contact. Here we are taking the existing contact and updating it. Okay. Insert contact to update. We'll check the size. We don't. We will avoid unnecessary DML error. So if the list is null, it will throw an error, right? So it's always good practice to check the size is greater than 0 or not, then only we perform DML. Okay. So we'll try this trigger to execute. Let's go to account and contact. So let's see this. So is there an account number? Yeah, account number is there. Let's check the contact. Only one contact. So we newly created a account number 1. There is no account number. So what we'll do, we'll just edit this record and let's so in account we have loyalty member also. Okay, let's edit something. See, I'm not editing the account number, I'm just saving the record, just updating record. Then go to the other record, just refresh. The account number will get updated in the related contact. And how many contacts are there? In all the contacts, this account number will get updated. So it didn't get updated, so our trigger failed. before insert, before update, after insert, after update. So let's remove. We don't need delete also. So why it's not executed? Because this list didn't return values. This list return 0. That's why even this update didn't work. We'll refresh once. It should work. This should work. If it doesn't work, it didn't work. So what you do, you people give a try. If you can debug this, if you are unable to do, I'll do it tomorrow. Okay. Okay, I'll give you this trigger. I'll send you all the codes. Okay. So this one, this both. So you should solve this by tomorrow or by Monday. I won't force you. Okay. I'm done for the day. You can ask questions if you have. Oh, I can see only.
No questions, Bala.
Okay. In there any questions?
No, Bala, I'm good, thank you.
Okay. Navi, any questions?
No, Bala.
Okay. Nisha?
नो सर, पहले मुझे ये करके देखना पड़ेगा खुद से, फिर क्वेश्चन समझ पाएंगे क्वेश्चन क्या है मुझे सर.
Okay. I'll send you the code try.
थैंक यू सर.
Meenal, any questions? Okay. Okay then. Bye for now. See you tomorrow. Signing off.
Yeah, thank you, Bala.
Yeah. Welcome.
Bye sir, have a good day sir.
Bye. Same to you. Thank you.